Welcome back to all my haters. Today we have another mock draft. I'll be picking from the one spot in a 12-team league. This mock draft is happening after some NFL breaking news. So after Terry McLaurin has signed an extension, after Jakobi Meyers has requested a trade, and after Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt has taken on the starting role after the Commies traded away Brian Robinson. So we'll pull up the mock draft here and we'll get things started. We'll talk about how that changes player values. For me, I'm drafting from the 1. It's not going to change anything at the first pick. Ja'Marr Chase has been my guy here. Like I've been saying on a lot of these mock drafts, these top 6 options, Chase, Barkley, Bijan, Gibbs, Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, you could take them in any order that you like them. I like Ja'Marr Chase first. I'll end up taking him first here. I have done a 10-team draft where I took Bijan first. It doesn't end up changing a lot for me at the 2-3 turn. There's usually a receiver I like there. There's usually a running back I like there. And if there isn't, I will double up or triple up on any position based on what falls to me. So stuff that we're hoping to get here would be Ladd, who goes right before us. In this spot, I end up taking, I think I'm going to either go JSN at 301 paired with Kyren Williams or Chase Brown. And really with the way things are here, I could go Trey McBride paired with Kyren Williams. I like Trey McBride at the 212 in a 12-team league. And I'm going to talk myself into that. I'll take Kyren Williams here. I also like Chase Brown. Very, very similarly. I like Jonathan Taylor, but I feel a little bit safer with Kyren Williams with a little bit less upside. So in a 12-team league, that's why I would lean Kyren. Like Jonathan Taylor has had some big weeks. If we pull up his 2024 stats, like he won you some leagues if you made it to the playoffs. If you got into the playoffs, this 39-27, like those were great. But you also had to survive this 8, 7, 3.5, multiple missed weeks. I'm just going to go with Kyren Williams. And like I said, I'll pair him with Trey McBride. I like that value at the 212, 301. I would have done that if Brock Bowers had been there. I like to grab these guys around 209, 210 if they are available. Let's leave this up and let's talk about some of the players coming back to us. So now we don't need to worry about tight end. We can look to go for a running back here, maybe Hampton. Nope, he does not make it to the 412. Let's see, Terry McLaurin sitting at the 410. And I think that is about where I would draft him. Now, Terry McLaurin is probably going to stay on my do not draft list even after signing a contract extension. I just worry about what happened last year. He jumped up to be wide receiver 7, but that was just on the back of touchdowns. He scored 13 touchdowns last year. Nothing else really changed. 82 receptions instead of 8, instead of 79. 1,096 yards instead of 1,000. He's had 1,191 where he was wide receiver 14. Like that was a good year for him. So I don't expect him to sit at 13 touchdowns. I think that's going to come back down into the single digits. I'm expecting him to have a slow start to the season after missing a lot of camp. He's not someone I'm looking to draft a lot, but 410 is about where I would start to consider him. I would have liked to have Ken Walker fall here in this situation where we have Kyren Williams as a very safe locked-in RB1. I'm not really looking for a safer RB2 with Chuba Hubbard or James Conner here. I might just shoot for Travion Henderson. Late 4th round. I like him ahead of Hubbard and Conner, pairing him with Williams. I'm okay if he starts a little bit slow. We can find some safer options in the flex to have a nice starting lineup through the first couple weeks of the season. So I'm going to go with DJ Moore, who I like in Ben Johnson's system. Now, he might not stay the lead option, but taking him at the end of the 4th round, we're taking him wide receiver 18, 19, 20. I think he can return that value here with upside. So we'll go DJ Moore and we'll pair him with big upside Travion Henderson. We have not taken a quarterback yet. I don't feel a need to take a quarterback in the early rounds, especially if we get a tight end. I don't like getting both. And rarely do I get a quarterback because in a lot of home leagues, you'll see quarterbacks going in the 2nd round, and I just don't think that's good value. I like to get a quarterback in these later rounds where we could find someone like Kyler Murray in round 8 or 9 is usually pretty good value for what he's going to do for you. Or I'll just take the upside shots on Justin Fields late, Drake May late. They can both be top 10, and we're in a 12-team league. So if I can get those guys as the last quarterback drafted, I get a lot more players that I can trade more easily. Having said all that, I don't hate the value on Bo Nix at the end of the 6th round. If we wait, I don't know that we would get Kyler coming back to us. And this is how I start planning things out. So if we don't take a quarterback here at the turn, does Kyler fall to us? Maybe not, probably not. And at rounds 8, 9, and 10, I'm probably going to shoot for some of these kind of upside players that I like. Ibuka, Pearsall, Golden, Jakobi Krosky, Merritt. So here we're going to shoot our shot. We'll take Bo Nix so that we can get those upside players later. If we hadn't gone with McBride, say we had a running back here, now I would grab Mark Andrews. And I'll go with Rome Odunze to pair there. We're going to have 3 guys. I don't mind having to start both DJ Moore and Rome in any given week. And we're drafting guys here hoping that in the 7th round, if he moves in and becomes the top option there, we could have 2 top 24 receivers on the Bears. Like Ben Johnson is a pretty good offensive mind. It's not guaranteed to happen, but if it does, I think we get good value back here. So in the 8th round, we see guys like Kupp, Diggs, Pearsall, and Golden both go. So we'll just shoot for Ibuka, and then I might take Jakobi Krosky Merritt as the rookie running back. Let's talk for a second about Jakobi Meyers here at the 8:03. Today, he's requested a trade from the Raiders. This is breaking news, August 25th. I don't know if he plays for the Raiders this year. I'm not sure why he's waited this long into camp to say anything publicly. I haven't heard any mumblings of this going on. There's a possibility the Raiders extend him. He's 29? I think he's 28. I think he just wants to have a little bit more guaranteed money left in his contract. So he's trying to get one more deal. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. In the 8th, 9th round, I'm still okay with taking him as a safe flex option for when he's playing. However, having said that, as I think about it more, I'm usually taking Jakobi Meyers for like week 1 safety to pair with a Tet McMillan. So even though we're not drafting him here, we'll talk quite a bit about him. I may now target Calvin Ridley a little bit more if I'm taking rookie wide receivers. So Tet McMillan, I would then pair with Ridley on a wraparound to have someone starting week 1. At this spot, we're going Ibuka. And then the sites might not update. ESPN, Yahoo, Sleeper may not update. Around round 9, I am fine if you draft Jakobi Krosky Merritt here. I think that's fine. Who would you rather have? Like Jalen Warren, who could lose his job, or Krosky Merritt, who is taking someone's job? We don't know which one's going to perform better, so I'll go with Merritt here. I may consider Merritt maybe in tier with J.K. Dobbins. Maybe. J.K. Dobbins is a guy in an ambiguous backfield that I like drafting. We just didn't get him here. Here we've got rounds 10, 11, 12, and 13 left. Usually you're in about round 15 rounds. 14, 15 would be a kicker and a defense. So at this point, we're just shooting for upside. We don't want backup quarterbacks unless we're getting great value on them, like maybe Justin Fields. If Dak Prescott had been there, that could be something where I might take a second one. This is just a year where there are a lot of great value quarterbacks. So we might end up with Drake May shooting for upside. But generally, we're not looking for backup quarterbacks. We don't want to be the first team to draft a defense or a kicker. And we're not really looking for massive safety. As we draft players here, we want to have a plan for what do we do when things go well. So if we took Keon Coleman, who we might end up taking here, we're taking him at the end of the 10th round. If he has a second year step forward and starts playing like a top 26 to 30 receiver, that could free us up to trade a DJ Moore or trade someone. So that's what we're doing if we draft someone like that. Same thing with Pittman, who might be the only man left standing in Indianapolis with Josh Downs not currently practicing. So I'm going to go with Pittman and Coleman here. I could also take Jaden Higgins with the same idea that there could be a rookie breakout. At rounds 12, I'm looking to see if Drake May isn't taken, I'm just going to snag him. Go around 12, 13, pair him with maybe an upside running back like Tank Bigsby, Jaden Blue, Nick Chubb. Dylan Sampson would be a fine pick here. You can't really go wrong with a lot of these other than a kicker or a defense. Like if Jaden Blue takes over the role in Dallas, we might see signs of him doing that in week 1 or week 2 and feel pretty good about him. We're looking for guys that we'll learn something early about or we can cut. If you have not drafted a quarterback, Justin Fields in the 12th is great value. I end up taking him in most of these mock drafts. I'm not taking him. I would take him over someone like Jordan Love because I like the upside of Justin Fields and his rushing. Same thing with Drake May, who went in the 12th. These guys have top 5 upside. I don't feel that way about Jordan Love. So here we will go with Sampson. We're not totally sure what is going on in Cleveland with Quinshon Judkins, Jerome Ford, who's starting. So we're just going to take a shot. If Dylan Sampson's starting, he will have good value. We'll take Sampson and we'll snag Justin Fields here to free us up. I mean, maybe someone wants to trade for Bo Nix and Fields can be our only guy. So we've drafted 13. Rounds 14 and 15. In most leagues, you are required to draft a kicker or a defense, so snag them. I'll usually target my defense based on their week 1 matchup. Fantasy football community, we are not actually very good at predicting who the best defense is. Defenses don't often repeat as the top one. Occasionally, they're just out of the top 5. So Broncos were good last year. That does not mean they will be great this year. We think they will, but we're not actually that good at picking them. So here, another option late could be Bashal Tutin, running back for the Jaguars. I have to sneeze. We're at the end of the draft, so we saw how some things changed. I think Terry McLaurin is still a little bit slow to be drafted, but by the time we've reached this weekend, he'll be back up to the late 3rd round where I still don't want him. Jakobi Meyers should slip a little bit down now that he seems a little bit less safe. And then other breaking news, Krosky Merritt should be up in this range of maybe ahead of the ambiguous backfields like Javonte Williams, Scatabo Tracy, kind of this rounds 8-9 range. All right, thanks so much for making it to the end. There should be another one on your screen you could check out. Please consider subscribing. See ya.